Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the Son of Man. They were eating and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage up to the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Similarly, as it was in the days of Lot, they were eating, drinking, buying, selling, planting, building. On the day when Lot left Sodom, fire and brimstone rained from the sky to destroy them all. So it will be on the day the Son of Man is revealed. On that day, someone who is on the housetop and whose belongings are in the house must not go down to get them. And likewise, one in the field must not return to what was left behind. Remember the wife of Lot. Whoever seeks to preserve his life will lose it, but whoever loses it will save it. I tell you, on that night, there will be two people in one bed. One will be taken, the other left. And there will be two women grinding meal together. One will be taken, the other left. They said to him in reply, "Where, Lord?" He said to them, "Where the body is, there also the vultures will gather." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord.
St. John, this guy who was so special to Jesus because he always reclined at the heart of Jesus to listen to him, to listen to his heartbeat. That is the call of friendship. He knew exactly why one had to pay attention to the truth of the gospel. And the truth of the gospel is being perverted by the deceivers. And so he's instructing and teaching the flock. He referred to the flock as lady, the beloved one. Maybe the lady, the blessed mother is the lady. And lady, she is the mother of the church. She is the symbol actually of the church. Because it is from the fruit, from the womb of the church that Jesus Christ is inside the cornerstone. So that symbol of Israel, the new Israel, the mother, is always the symbol, giving birth to the church, as it were, from the heart of Christ. And why do you think the connection of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the two hearts that birth the church and continue to pour graces on the church on a regular basis, especially graces that we seek and ask. You see the Blessed Mother, she hands out like that, and the graces are pouring out. But if we do not ask for those graces, that there many deceivers have gone into the world, those who do not acknowledge Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh. Have you ever seen Christians who they love the majesty of Jesus, they love his divinity, but they don't want to have anything to do with the fact that Jesus came in the flesh? Jesus was the fruit of promise to the King David and his Davidic dynasty, that a new stock will come from the root of JCL in Isaiah 11 verse 1. And then, following from that, he talked of his spirit, wisdom, counsel. Those were the spirit that were accompanied. But he had to be from the stock of the root of JCL. Joseph and Mary belong to that same generation. And so, whenever you find out the spirit of the Antichrist, The spirit of the Antichrist is so feel disgusted by the personalities of Mary and Joseph. That is the same spirit that antagonizes the family. And today, look at it around. That is the spirit that talks about gender ideology. That is the spirit that wants to ruin the family as constituted and instituted and created by God. That's why Joseph is called the terror of demons. And that's why the Blessed Mother, the Immaculate Heart of Mary, crushes every day the evil one once ever we call on her. She will always crush him. The spirit that wants to make us deny the fact that Jesus came in the flesh. And you know, that same spirit, once it denies that Jesus came in the flesh, everything that Jesus achieved in the flesh is nothing, including the crucifixion. That's what the spirit does. That's Antichrist. That Antichrist is here. Is fighting tooth and nail now. Is fighting when we see disobedience, when we see rebellion. Is fighting when we see immodesty and lack of purity, lack of immaculate lifestyle. When we see impurity in thoughts, words, and deeds, impurity, licentiousness, sexual perversion of all kinds. And people are struggling for rights. The Antichrist continues to launch his damage against the beloved children of God. After he was dislodged from heaven by Michael and all his fallen angels, then he continues to fight against those who belong to Jesus Christ, those who are beloved of Jesus Christ, and those who belong to Jesus Christ certainly belongs to the Blessed Mother. Because that is the connection. The DNA of Jesus Christ is the DNA of the Blessed Mother. It couldn't have been that, because that is the DNA, that is the humanity, that is the part of Jesus Christ. So you now can see the fact of the proto-evangelium in Genesis chapter 3, verse 14, 15, and 16. When God said, I will put enmity between you and the woman, between her offspring and yourself. Between you and the woman, he's speaking to the serpent, the Antichrist. It is the Blessed Mother who can ensure that connected to Jesus Christ, we can go back to paradise. Because the Antichrist led Adam and Eve out of he made them sin. So when they sinned, death came and God threw them out of the paradise. It is the yes of the Blessed Mother that takes us back to the tree of life, back to paradise. That's why she is the golden one. She is the one that keeps us rooted. Like I said recently, in the 5th century, that Archbishop Nestorius, Constantinople, every time when there's a force, a battle against the children of God, it goes to the new Eve. It is against the new Eve, Mary. So Nestorius was saying, no. Yeah, Jesus Christ is God, but is not man. For him, Yeah, I take that back. Actually, what he says, Mary is mother of Jesus, but not mother of God. So if he says Mary is not the mother of God, but mother of Jesus, what does it mean? It means Jesus Christ is not God. So he ran into that trouble. And history will never lie. Go to Syria, Kuwait, Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq today. Those are Islamic dominated environments. Those are the environments of Constantinople before. When Mary is not honored and venerated, the church disappears. We cannot be a Catholic church and be Protestants at the same time. No. It's not possible. And mother is just like I'm speaking, I can feel, the power just around me. Because that's what she does. She keeps us rooted. And that's why when Jesus was speaking in the gospel, he said, just as it was in the day of Noah, so it will be. Men and women were eating and drinking, marrying, having, and he said, look, go into the ark, because destruction is coming. No, we don't listen. We didn't listen. And the church continues today to tell us, the ark of the new covenant today, the new ark of the covenant is Mary. It is into her fortress that we must run into. It is into her fortress we must run into. And you know what? When you run into that place, nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. The whole shipwreck of the world may come down. And the Blessed Mother will hold us tenderly and take us to the harbor of safety. During Lot's time, you remember the line of Sodom and Gomorrah. What was happening? Sodomy. What was happening? All this gay stuff and every lesbianism, that was what was going on. Never think that 4,000 years ago that people think that, these are new realities. It is heresy, recycling itself, and coming in different ways. But Mother always trampled down on every heresy. He destroyed the heresy even during the time of Dominic. Dominic sought the protection of the Blessed Mother. And she came from heaven and gave him the rosary. There's fire in my bones today. And 21 years ago, I was ordained a deacon. So I'm preaching the word like with fire. Because I told the Blessed Mother, what did you see this morning? For keeping me and cleansing me of all corruption and keeping me up till this day. And I said, I've never been able to do as much as I think I should. But only yesterday the Lord is telling me, just be there before the Blessed Sacrament, and that's all. Because when you are there, then I give you the messages that I need to give to the world. That's all. Action is not what it is. It is devotion and adoration and being there before the Lord. So I thank him so much, and I ask you to help me thank the Lord for preserving me. And guess what? I was ordained deacon on the feast day of Pope St. Nicholas the Great, 13th of November. I thought my bishop must have just carefully chosen those dates. But we were two of us, so maybe he had a special, fondness for me. And that St. Nicholas, 800 AD, 9th century, go check him out, was Nicholas of the Great, Nicholas the Great. And he broke the back of the Turks and the Muslims who were trying to invade the church. So I can look at my history a little bit, even though I was toned down by Muslims, but here am I. Oh Lord. So when I look at Frances Cabirini, an Italian immigrant. And then on this same day, and I look at myself, can you make some conclusions? How did I find myself here? When God discovers that his people need help, he goes to every corner of the world and pulls them out. Pray for me. Let us rise and pray. Mindful of our dependence on God, let us humbly